Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Srinivas, your business coach and your mentor. It's a pleasure meeting you all on another day for another video. The topic of today's video is going to be we will be understanding why businesses fail as soon as they start or within the first 1 year of its operations. This is the topic of this video. If you want to watch a lot of these more videos, please press on to the subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you will be able to receive more notifications. And very importantly, please leave a small comment telling us what is the kind of videos that you would like to watch in our channel. If we are able to telecast those videos in our channel, we will surely do so. Okay. As I told you in the beginning, the topic of today's video is going to be why do most of the businesses fail in the starting first year of its operations or as soon as they are incorporated. This is what a lot of businessmen come and ask me, or a lot of people who want to get into business come and ask me. They ask me, why is the failure ratio so high within the first year to the fifth year of the business operations? That is what we are going to have look at in detail. Before we get into that topic, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand or you need to know a very alarming figure. In India, typically 98.5% of the companies that are started in a financial year fail within the first year of its operations, which is a huge number, and it's a very alarming number because a lot of people who are getting into business tend to exit business or fail in that business opening. So you need to do a lot of things to ensure that you don't fail in your business venture, or you don't fail within the first 1 year of its operations. For us to get into that, first thing that you will have to understand is you need to know who are the type of people who are basically getting into business. I can broadly classify these people into three categories. The first category are people who have completed their education, okay, and they directly start their business venture. So this is the first kind of people, or the first segment of the people who start any business venture. The second category of people are people who are employed in an organization, for a period of time, and then they quit their employment and they start a business. This is the second category of people. The third category of people are people who have already been into business. It can be any other business line. Okay, let us say a person was into a hotel industry or operating a restaurant, then he wants to start another business venture up, let's say like a school education venture or other things. So this is the second venture that he's starting. So these are three kind of persons that are getting into business majorly. Okay, if you broadly classify them, they will all fall under three different buckets. One is a fresher who is getting into business. Second is a person who was employed and who wants to quit employment and get into starting his own business. A third person is a business owner who is already a business owner, who is doing his business in another vertical, now who wants to enter business into a new business domain. So these are the broad classifications of people who are trying to get into business. Now let us understand why is that most of the businesses fail very instantly or within the first 5 years of our operations, and the higher failure ratio is in the first 1 year by itself. Okay, so for this you need to know that the most important thing for all these three category of people is majorly people don't work on a very detailed business plan. They do tend to have a business plan, but the concentration in terms of drafting a business plan is not focused upon it is just a very vague business plan that they have, and they start the business venture. So this is one big mistake that most of the people do. Okay, and very importantly, what happens is when you don't have a very detailed business plan, you don't have option A, option B, or option C. You will just be stuck to option A. So if something goes wrong in option A, your approach towards the business, if something goes wrong, puts you in a lot of trouble, or it puts you under a lot of pressure, and you take decisions which might backfire, and at the end of the day, it will impact your profitability, and the business sustainability also is not very high. The second thing is that people don't work majorly on competition analysis. People don't work very well on competition analysis. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you are starting a business today, it is very important for you to do a very detailed, comprehensive competition analysis. Only if you can do a detailed analysis of the competition, you will be able to know who you are competing under, or competing with, and then you will be able to understand what is the pricing strategies that that you will have to do to outdo your competition. And secondly, you need to understand what is the kind of marketing campaigns those people are doing, how they are promoting their products and services, and what is the thing that you will have to do differently. See, doing the same thing that your competition does is not going to give you or yield you any great results, or give you great profitability, ladies and gentlemen. So any company that has been successful has been companies which had a very different approach in terms of marketing, in terms of promoting their products and other things. So this is something which is very important. So you need to focus very clearly in terms of the competition analysis that you do. This is the second thing that every business owner has to do. Now, even before getting into what are the other things that you're supposed to do to be successful in business, let me tell you one thing about the three category of people that we broadly classified them under at the starting of the video. The first thing that I told you are people who are basically starting their business newly without any kind of an experience. Now, what are the challenges that these people have, or what are the constraints of these people are? First thing is that they have very limited experience in terms of work by itself. So the understanding about business dynamics is not that great. They don't understand in detail about how to go about competition analysis. They don't understand about how to do pricing. They don't understand about how to market the product. They don't understand very clearly in terms of how to calculate profitability, how to set the price, what is the things that you need to take into account while you are doing your business, what is the capital that is exactly required. All this details that is required to do a comprehensive business plan is not there with them, because their adequate knowledge in terms of business by itself is very minimal, or at zero. I would say it is at zero or very minimal, because they're just freshers. They would come with a capital. They would say, I'm going to get into this business, I will buy some products and I will sell it at X amount. So unable to do this comprehensive business plan is a very major hindrance for these kind of people. Okay, and the second thing is that since these people are newcomers into any business domain, or they have straightly landed up from college or starting their business, their ability to take in pressure is not that great, because they do not know how to handle pressure. They are under tremendous they will be under tremendous pressure when they really come across a situation of how to handle situations. So this is also one thing that these people are constrained at. So they do not know exactly how to handle pressure, because business is not going to be easy, ladies and gentlemen. The first month might be a tremendous success. The first 6 months might be a tremendous success. Suddenly some challenges might come in. Look at COVID has impacted a lot of business. A lot of business has been impacted by COVID. People who have been into business for quite a long time are by itself struggling, because we don't know what to do. We don't know how to approach this situation, because this situation by itself is new to everybody. So for these kind of people, this is going to add a lot of pressure, because the only thing that they might probably have is capital with them, but they do not know how to exactly rotate the capital, what are the things that they are supposed to do, how to collaborate with other people, and most importantly, these people don't spend much of their capital in terms of branding and promoting. They look at it as an expense. Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, branding and promoting your product is not an expense. It is an investment that you are making, that you need to very clearly understand. Okay, and third thing is that these people don't have the required business competencies to be successful. See, I'm not saying that these people won't be successful. I am saying that these are the challenges these people face. So they need to do a lot of effort. They need to take a lot of effort in terms of overcoming these challenges is something that these people will have to understand. So the competencies are very, very limited. Probably a fresher might be very, very good in his ability to think about a business plan, but the detailing might not be there. He might be not knowing how to market the product. He might not be knowing greatly in terms of financial accounting. He might not be knowing majorly in terms of IT. So the competencies is not that great. So this is also one reason in which one reason why they fail. The other reason is that many times these kind of people fail because they don't put in a continuous effort on a consistent basis. They put in effort, but it is not consistent and it is not sustained over a period of time. So that is also one challenge that they face. So these are the challenges that are faced by the category A. The category A of people are people whom I told you are people who have just completed their education and got into business. Now we'll talk about the second category. The second category of people are the people who have been employed for some time and who have experience in a particular domain, who want to quit that employment and they want to start business. Now, what are the challenges these people face in business? Point number one, if this person is employed, ladies and gentlemen, he has experience in one department of that business. Let us say, for example, a person has been employed in sales, okay, and he has spent about 10 to 12 years of experience in sales. Pretty good, excellent. He has very good knowledge in terms of sales. He knows how to sell a product. He has the competency to sell a product. But that only is not enough to be successful as a business person or as an entrepreneur. Why? Because business does not run only on one department. It has multiple departments that you need to run as a business owner. For example, the person who has been in sales would have very, very limited knowledge in terms of marketing. Here in India, a lot of people talk about sales and marketing. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, sales is a completely different department and marketing is a completely different department. You might have had great experience in sales, but your knowledge in terms of marketing might be very, very limited. Your knowledge in terms of financial accounting will be very, very limited. So your knowledge in terms of IT, your knowledge in terms of procurement, all these will be very, very limited. And this is a huge challenge that these people face because they always believe that they are competent in one thing, but they don't have the competencies in the other department. See, I'm not telling you that you need to be a master of all the subjects, but you need to know at least the basic of all the subjects to be successful in business. So before getting into business, you need to invest your time to learn more about all the other departments and the functioning of the core departments to make your business a successful venture. So this is something that they need to do. And mostly what happens is because of the experience that they have, their kind of confidence is very, very high in a particular department or in a particular function. But when the challenges arises in other functions, they will not know how to handle it. So the best way of overcoming this challenge is to hire people with the right competencies, which many times these people don't do. So it is very, very important for you to hire in the right kind of people, ladies and gentlemen. And very importantly, it is very, very challenging for people to change a mindset. So for people who have already been into business, mostly these people who are trying to, so for people who have already been employed, they mostly try to get into business because they are not very comfortable with their work environment or with their bosses. If those people are trying to get into business only because you are not comfortable with your current employment or with your current boss, I would tell you, don't get into business, change your organization. That is a much easier thing to do. Okay, because it is not that you're not happy with work, it is just that you're not happy with your boss and your company. Don't look at business as an opportunity because It is exactly something the right opposite for employment. Because see, in employment, what happens? You perform for a period of time, you get in your salary. Even if the company does not perform to the great levels that the company is expecting or you are expecting, the salary will come on 30th. Okay, so you are assured of an income, or at least partially assured of an income. But business is not that way. Business is ups and downs. Every time you will not be able to climb up the mountain. There are a lot of times that you will fall down, and there will be a lot of months that you will fall down before you will be able to reach the pinnacle of the mountain. So it is something that you need to be very clear about in terms of while you're getting into business. Uh, so and uh, the people who have just come into business after being employed tend to make a lot of mistakes during the first 5 years of the business, because they are learning the other tricks of the trade in terms of running a business, right? So every mistake that is made will cost you, will cost your company in terms of the revenue and other things. So it is very important for you to learn at an earlier stage by itself. So this is the second category of people, and what are the challenges that they face. The third category of people that I was talking to you about are people who are getting into business or into a new stream of business, who have already been into business. Like I told you, the example of a person who is already running a restaurant. Let's say this person was running a restaurant. Now he wants to start up a educational institution or a business domain into educational sector. Now what happens is, the person who has been successful running a hotel industry or a restaurant industry has tremendous knowledge about how to run that business, but he is not sure about how to run this business, because this business is a completely new domain by itself. What works in the hotel industry need not work in a restaurant industry. What works in the restaurant industry need not work in the hotel industry. So your mindset has to completely change. You must be willing to unlearn what you have learned. This is the biggest challenge that these people face. That these people face a lot of challenges, because it is very challenging to unlearn and learn new things, because the mindset is already set that we need to do the marketing strategies in these kind of ways. This worked there and this will work here. No, it worked in that department, sorry, in that vertical. It might not work here. So you must be very clear about in terms of the approach that you're going to take. So you must be willing to change your mindset. If you're very rigid in your thought process, which most of the people do, then it's going to be a huge challenge, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a huge challenge. Okay, and very importantly, most of the times these kind of people are very rigid in terms of the decisions that they take, because they already have experience in business and they would feel that they are taking the right decisions, which mostly backfires. So these are the challenges that these kind of people face. Now the next thing that I would like to tell you is, what are we supposed to do? What are the things that we are supposed to do that we can ensure that businesses don't fail in the first 1 year of your business operations, or within the first 5 years of your business operations, for any kind of people? Now the most important thing that you'll have to understand is, even before starting your business, spend adequate time in terms of researching about the business. Researching about the business that you're trying to get into. Gather enough information so that you are not at a blind, you don't have enough blind spots. So you must be very you must have done your research well in advance in terms of the industry that you are going to get into, so that you are very clear and confident about the industry that you are going to get into. Second very most important thing is that understand the functioning of all the departments as a whole, not just one department. Again, I'm telling you, you will not be a master of all the departments, but you should know information about all the departments. Let's say you're going to start a business. You must know basic accounting. You must know IT processes. You must know procurement processes. You must know vendor relationship. You must know marketing. You must know sales. Not a master of everything, but at least at the outroot level, at least at the outsides, you must be a jack of all arts. So it is very important for you to understand the whole business domain, because only then you will be able to guide the people of your expectations, or else you will not be able to guide the people. Or else the one thing that you can do is hire the right kind of people who can do this. You need to spend money on the right kind of people, ladies and gentlemen, with the right kind of competencies. So that is something that you need to do. The third thing is study the competition hard. No, it is very, very important for you. Even before you get into any kind of business, you need to do a lot of research in terms of competition. You need to do a lot of research in terms of their strategies of marketing, strategies of sales, strategies in terms of pricing, where do they tend to get the procurement, and all the other things. All the complete competition analysis has to be done. This is where most of the people don't do this before getting into business. They tend to do it after getting into the business, which is not advisable by any terms. The next thing is, it is very, very important for you to get the pricing correct, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is a very, very competitive world, and it's become a very, very competitive world. People are expecting quality products at a reasonable price, and competition is very, very hard. So pricing plays a very, very important factor. So get the pricing correct in terms of the product. Even if you are selling a niche product, get the pricing correct. Okay, so be very sure about your product and price the product accordingly. This is something that you need to do. Okay, and the second thing is, the next thing is that be willing to invest and promote on your product by branding your product and marketing your product. This is something that most of the business people don't do at the initial stages of the starting of the company. See, most of the business people during the starting time tend to see branding and marketing as an expense. It is not an expense, ladies and gentlemen. It is an investment that you are making. Without making marketing activities, without promoting your product, how will you be able to sell the product? So this is also something that is very, very important that you need to be willing to do. The next most important thing is that don't try for perfection, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the business owners or people who get into business want to be perfect in everything that they do. No, it is not required to be perfect in everything that you do, because if you try for perfection, mostly what happens is that you won't try to attempt new things. You will be continuously doing the same old things which have given you result. What gave you results might not give you results today. What gave you results today will not give you results tomorrow. It's a very, very evolving world. Look at COVID. COVID has changed the entire system of business operations. If you are very rigid and if you tell that I'm not going to learn from my previous experiences and I'm not going to be changing my business approach to the current situation that is there, you will fail in business, ladies and gentlemen. Please understand that very, very clearly. Very importantly, the last point that I want to be sharing with you in this video is, I would like to tell you that be patient. Success does not happen overnight. You need to invest a lot of time, effort, and money into business processes. Bare minimum 5 years to 10 years is the time that I would tell you for your business to stabilize and set. I'm talking about average time tenure that is taken by any business person to be successful in business. So you need to be patient. Things might not happen in the first year. It might happen in the first year, it will fall down in the second year. Be patient. Be strong, be confident that you will be able to do this over a period of time. Day in and day out, think only about business, nothing else. You don't have an option. This is not employment where you complete your 9 to 6 job, come back home and switch off your mobile, spend time with the family. Another thing, spend time with the family. It's very, very important. But if a customer calls me by around 9 o'clock, it is my responsibility to pick up the call from the customer, even if it is at 9 o'clock, because the customer has a choice and you don't have a choice. The customer might go to a competitor if you are not picking up the calls by 9 o'clock in the night. So this is what I wanted to share with you in this video. If you want to watch a lot of these kind of videos, please click onto the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Like, comment and share. Until we sign up for another video, this is Srinivas, your business coach and your mentor, signing off. Thank you so much for signing in. Cheers.